Cool. So I think we're good to go. Well, welcome everybody to this Freestyle TS webinar in partnership with Cloud9, all about are using AI to your advantage. AI, obviously at the moment, it's a huge topic, probably up there with security, I suppose, in the IT industry. We talk to a lot of customers about it. And this is kind of part of a series of webinars that we want to do, sort of proactively educating customers on the latest and greatest tech. This webinar is focused around Microsoft products in particular, and it might be products that you already have access to, but just aren't sort of making use of. So I wanted to educate you on that today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ben. I'm the sales manager at Freestyle TS. We're an IT MSP based in Hook. We've got quite a few customers with us today, which is great to see, and a few new people. So welcome. Without further ado, I'll hand you over to Kurt to introduce himself, Cloud9, and go from there.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Nice to meet you all. So my name's Kurt. I'm the commercial director for a company called Cloud9. An absolute pleasure to join Ben on the webinar today. So to kick us off, just wanted to start with a very short slide on Cloud9. So Cloud9 are a specialist Microsoft Dynamics and Power Platform partner. So these are two specialist areas, which is the only areas of the Microsoft stack that we work in. Hence, we have great partnerships with people like Ben and the Freestyle team who deliver the more traditional IT service providers. So we come in and we help with these small parts and areas around Dynamics and the Power Platform. We've delivered over 1,000 implementations in our time, and we as a business have been running for about 15 years. We are an accredited business applications partner, and business applications is what Microsoft call the Power Platform and Dynamics. So ultimately, it's their brand name for the pillar of that tech. We're a team of just over 40 people. We're based down on the south coast in Brighton. This is about a 2-minute walk from our office. It doesn't look like that today because we've hit winter and autumn, unfortunately, but we're very blessed to be down by the sea. And we have a unique methodology that we help clients to grow with by enhancing customer experience. I'm going to share that with you today, which then moves us into talking more about AI and Power Automate and the rest of the Power Platform stack. So just as a kickoff, if you do have any questions as we're going through, please post them in the chat. We will try and leave a little bit of time at the end for questions, but failing that, we will follow up with you after. So please do post any questions into the Q&A as we go through. So I wanted to start with this slide just really to set the scene. Now, as Ben said, there are most likely some of these tools we're going to talk about today you may already be using. You may already be subscribing to them but not using them, or they might be completely new to you. But we use this slide that we call the stack, if you like, to just bring to life all of the different applications and capabilities that we have as part of the Microsoft platform. So over on the left-hand side, we're not going to do a guess the logo game today, but you can see probably all of those logos from the Microsoft 365 stack that you are used to, such as Teams and Outlook, OneDrive, SharePoint, etc. In the middle, you've got the Dynamics suite of applications. So these are ready-built business applications for functional areas like sales or Business Central, which is finance, or customer insights, that's marketing. And at the top and at the bottom, these are 3 platforms, if you like, that underpin everything that happens in the Microsoft stack. So Copilot, which for the sake of this webinar is actually standard Copilot, ChatGPT style that you might be using in your day-to-day. And underpinning all of these applications is the Dataverse and also Azure features, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. For the webinar today, we're going to be focusing on the right-hand side of this quadrant here, or circle, which is the Power Platform. And again, these are typically tools that often clients already have or they're already subscribing to, but potentially they're not using or they're not getting the full benefits. So hopefully over the course of the next 20 minutes or so, we can bring these tools to life a little bit more, give you some live understanding with some live use cases of actually what they can do for you, and hopefully get the cogs whirring about potential opportunities within your business. So before we delve into that, we wanted to start with our methodology, which, as I said at the beginning, we call inspirational clarity. And the idea of this is it's a proven methodology that we use to support our SMB customers in growing their business. And we use that to focus on delivering and enhancing the customer experience using those Microsoft Cloud technology solutions that we just spoke to. So the journey is a three-step journey. It can be approached in three separate steps. It can be combined into two steps, or it can be, 1, 2, and 3, or done at different parts. But the idea is that we get to a stage where each step is adding maturity to your business from technology and ultimately enhancing the customer experience at every phase. The important part is it's essential to have the number one step in place first. So our number one step, and we're obviously Cloud9, so we talk in clouds. The first step is the Stratus Cloud. And this is the foundation to your success. And to drive any digital transformation and any IT project, you must have data. And ideally, you must have as much of that data in one place. And by using a Microsoft platform, it means that the system is secure. It means it's accessible from any device and anywhere in the world. The second stage is the Alto Cloud. So this is where transformation begins. So once you have your data, it's really then what can you do with that data moving forward? So through automation, which is going to be a topic of today, and also AI, and also insights, we work here to simplify the processes to free up more time for your team. And ultimately that time can be spent on building deeper relationships or more strategic tasks. So by using automation and by driving better insights from that data, it means that it's giving your team more time back. And then finally, we have the Cirrus Cloud. And this little guy here is Cirrus, and Cirrus is our Cloud9 mascot. He's an example of what great looks like. So this is where your customer experience becomes your competitive advantage. And here your teams are connected through an integrated technology stack. You've perhaps enabled things like self-service, so you can enable your clients and your partners to self-serve through secure portals, and also offer multi-channel communications. So less of the email, less of the phone call. It could be social media messaging, WhatsApp messaging, various different channels to delight your customers and make your business thrive. And a real key topic of today is going to be thinking about how we can use and adopt AI to drive your business forward. Many economists are suggesting that the years from now until 2030 will see around the top 10% of businesses go into what they call hyper profits. So this means that businesses who identify and put into practice how they can adopt AI in their business, they will vastly reduce the time taken to deliver services and effectively enjoy this hyper profit. And the reason they're putting that timescale is they believe that by 2030, the majority of businesses will be doing it. So what better time than now to think about where we can use AI and get ahead of the game and enjoy those successes. And the really important message is that this technology is not just for enterprise. Cloud9 exclusively work with SMB businesses, and we're helping our clients day to day with adopting AI and automation to do more with business. And just to bring it back to the tech, this is where those Power Platform modules actually fit into our module. They all have their place. So the first stage at Stratus and building your data is Power Apps. It could be Dynamics, it could be Power Apps. It's making sure that that data is secured, it is in a central place, and it's building the foundations for what's to come. In the Alto Cloud, you have Power BI, which is the leading reporting tool for your data visualization, analytics, identifying trends. What's working in the business, what isn't working. Power Automate is our low-code automation builder. It has over 1,400 pre-built connectors, which is designed to enhance your collaboration within the business by connecting platforms and creating automations to speed up processes. I'm sure you all recognize the Copilot. logo, you can't attend a tech webinar at the moment without hearing about Copilot. And as we move into the third stage in Cirrus, we have Power Pages, which is the secure portal tool, which is already connected natively to Power Apps and the rest of the Power Platform. This is what can drive your self-service. And then finally, which the main topic of our webinar today is Copilot Studio. So this is the ability to create your own AI models and own agents to effectively create what we're here to talk about today, which is AI employees. So let's talk about these agents, and this is where AI employees really come to life. So firstly, you can have agents that complete tasks for you. They don't just answer questions, like I'm sure you're all using Copilot and ChatGPT, but they actually take action. So from pulling information or running processes, it can save your team hours and hours of repetitive work. And this is the real benefit of AI and automation, is giving your people time back to do more valuable things. Secondly, you can publish these agents to the channels that are relevant to you and your clients and your partners. So that means these agents can be available instantly in Microsoft Teams for your internal work. They can be published onto your website for your external contacts, or wherever your staff and customers are already interacting. It could be through WhatsApp, it could be through social media messaging. So you don't need to change how people work. The AI models will fit into your existing tools. And then thirdly, everything, as with all of Microsoft, is underpinned by its secure management and governance. So this means from a compliance perspective, you stay in control with your permissions and your policies. So the AI that you build is safe, and it's safe to scale across your organization. So in short, you create the agent, you put it where it's most useful, and then you stay in control every step of the way. So we do a lot of these presentations, and customers always ask us, well, this is all great, but how do I really use this in practice? So we wanted to share with you some examples of actually what these agents and these bots can do in a day-to-day practical example. So the first example we have is a sales tender bot. Every client that we speak to has some sort of sales engine in their business, and they need to write proposals or tenders or RFPs. So the problem we come off against and we see is that sales team, they waste a lot of time digging through past tenders and documents to try and find answers. They want to create new proposals, but it's taking them a lot of time. It's inefficient. They have multiple versions, and this ultimately leads to low productivity. Salespeople want to be out there. They want to be speaking to customers. Writing the proposals and the presentations is often something that can slow them down. So by using Copilot Studio and Power Automate, you can connect Copilot Studio to a SharePoint or a document repository location in your business, and that agent will look at all of the previous tenders that you have created and all of the previous proposals. In AI world, this is called the knowledge. So you can select what knowledge your AI agent will have. So it's not like ChatGPT. You don't put something in and it goes and asks everything that's on the internet. You control what knowledge you want this particular agent to see. So imagine this scenario where you have your sales tender bot. Your knowledge of the sales tender bot is all of your previous proposals and tenders, and you can then use it, ChatGPT style, to do things for you. Answer questions, create new proposals, create new parts of proposals that you can look and tailor and make better. So, before a rep spends hours searching folders, emailing colleagues, sending Teams messages and piecing together answers, once you have an AI agent in place, they can ask this bot once. They can get the information in seconds, and then they can move on to the next task. So the result is faster, more accurate bids, salespeople spending more time with customers. And obviously the knowledge is then available to the whole team. It's not locked in one person's head. It's a simple and powerful way to turn your business knowledge into productivity gains. And here's what it could look like. So again, practical examples here. Your sales tender bot can live inside of Microsoft Teams, so we don't need to give anybody a new place to go or new application to use. And because it's Microsoft, you just keep feeding it with more knowledge and more information. And as with all AI, it will just get better as you interact more with it. So some fantastic examples here. And this is not just for salespeople. So we also have an example here where we've built for a client an HR employee. So before the bot, the HR team, which could sometimes be one person, or it could be the MD who's wearing multiple hats, they get swamped with questions about policies or holiday requests or process queries. And employees can wait for answers for sometimes days. Everybody's busy. Having a bot in place, the staff just asks the HR Copilot directly. It gives the instant answers based on the knowledge it's been fed, which would be the company holiday policy, the sickness leave, whatever those policies are. You can book your holiday automatically using this bot, and ultimately think about all that time that is freed up by not answering these questions, creating paperwork, creating new employee contracts. The bot does it for you. Okay. And another example is from a legal department. So before the bot, teams would spend hours reviewing NDAs, contracts, checking clauses, looking at previous contracts to, compare information and compare changes. By using a bot, the legal Copilot can instantly review documents. It can suggest changes based on the previous revisions that it has done, and it will highlight accepted or declined terms. Think about the time that would save. Instead of going through each contract with a fine-tooth comb, is to get the bot do the majority of the work, and then the human would then finalize and make sure that everything is okay. And that bot will follow all of the great things that they did previously. So you can get a sense of the amount of time that can be saved here. So just to summarize, what functionality can an AI employee do for our businesses? So they're tailored to your organization. They are built using only the data and the knowledge that you want to provide. So that means that it's not the World Wide Web. It is just the knowledge that you are feeding into each individual agent. And you can have as many agents as you want and put them anywhere that you like. So they can write for you, they can create tenders, contracts, content, all in your tone, keeping your output consistent and professional. Everything is secure and private. It runs safely on the Microsoft ecosystem, and it keeps your data in-house with full governance and control. And as with all AI, and this may be the scary bit to some, is they get smarter over time. So they learn from how your team use it, so they continuously improve. And as you can see from the examples, thinking about how much time that can save by automating repetitive admin tasks, and also accelerating the staff learning and ensuring everybody gets a consistent answer and information. So in short, they don't just provide answers, they enhance productivity, they enhance accuracy and knowledge sharing. And what we're really driving a message today is they free up your team's time to focus on higher value work like strategy, customer relationships, and ultimately business growth. Okay. So wanted to give you a couple of other examples just to take away, and then we'll round off and just go through any particular questions. So we have our chasing invoices and debt collection. So this is something that comes up so often in businesses, is something that takes a lot of our time is chasing debt. There's no need to spend all of that time chasing debt. Finance teams waste an awful lot of time manually reviewing the invoice list, finding the email in a spreadsheet or another system, typing out or copying a previous email to chase. Power Automate can do all of this for you. So you put the rules that say, look at this list. The rules are that every time an invoice goes over 15 days overdue or 30 days overdue, whatever it is, we send out an automated email. If nothing changes or nothing comes back, we send another one, and we notify people when the payment is made. All of this can be automated, thinking about how much time this might save someone or multiple people within your business from an invoice chasing perspective. And the result, less manual chasing, faster payments, and clearer visibility of your debt status. And the final example I wanted to share is enhancing customer service with portals, and also omni-channel. So this is a fantastic example of how using AI, we've worked with many clients where they want to put these AI bots on their external customer-facing web pages. If you think about all the knowledge that you can get internally from providing instant answers, then actually the possibilities are endless with communicating with your clients as well. So from here, the problem is manual intervention, constant phone calls, constant emails requesting information. Service teams deal with the same questions over and over again, and everybody's human. So responses sometimes are missed, emails are missed, and that sometimes leads to client dissatisfaction. So the outcome is you can create self-service portals. You can expose data from your Power Apps, from your AI agents. You can communicate with your clients in various different channels, live chat, WhatsApp, social messaging, and all of the responses, again, are from your internal knowledge, not from online, they're from your internal knowledge as well. So fantastic examples here, and hopefully they pricked a few ideas in your minds of where you might be able to use these tools moving forward to increase your efficiency. And if I'd like you to take one thing from today, we're proposing for everybody on this call that we're going to offer you what's called a needs assessment. And the idea of this is you can evaluate your next automation and AI project completely for free. This would normally be a charge for engagement. You'll get to spend some time with our pre-sales consultants. And the idea is we'll do an hour online workshop. We'll focus on 1 to 3 high priority opportunities. So we'd invite you to go away and think, okay, based on what Kurt and Ben have said today, what opportunities to automate and use AI do we have in our business? And part of that session is we'll help you understand the tools in more detail, help you build confidence and understanding of these tools and what they do. And the output of the workshop will be a defined budget, timeline, and scope for implementation. So without spending any money, without just giving us an hour of your time to throw some ideas around and challenge your thinking, we can give you an understanding of how these solutions can help you moving forward, and also what the investment would look like from a time and also a money perspective as well. So thank you so much for listening for me today. I'm going to hand back over to Ben, and then if there are some questions, then I think we've got a few minutes left.
Cool. Thanks, Kurt. Appreciate that. I think giving real-world examples is always the most powerful way to explain how a product or technology can help you. And all those examples that Kurt showed, I'm sure they resonated with a lot of you, but especially I can see how they've worked for Freestyle. An example was last year. Beginning of last year, we had a large tender to complete, and I was working on it, and it took me weeks of long evenings. I had to sort of do it alongside my day job. Whereas if we had an agent that we could use that looked at all of our previous tenders, it might have taken me half the time, a quarter of the time, maybe even less. And especially the invoice chasing as well, something we have to do regularly. So those examples were particularly powerful. I think we just had a question in the chat of WeCat. Anyone else within your team that want to review the content or interested in learning about it, then we'll send out a recording. It'll be posted on our YouTube channel. I won't say like and subscribe. I don't think we've got any subscribers. There's only a few videos on there, but it'll be available on that. But yeah, I think the misconception as well with AI especially is that it's kind of reserved for much larger enterprises, like Kurt said. But Cloud9 and similar to Freestyle, we pretty much exclusively work with SMBs. And the examples that Kurt gave are very much tailored towards SMBs. It's something that's very achievable, likely through the products you've already got, the existing Microsoft products you're already using. So something that's definitely not just reserved for the enterprise companies, but something that's achievable for pretty much everyone now. Have we actually had a couple of questions now? Is that you?
No, we have, yeah.
Okay.
How much work is involved in building some of the examples you showed? Yes, it's a great question, David. So, for example, the sales tender bot is, under a couple of weeks worth of work. So you're talking quite a small project. We can absolutely go into the steps. I perhaps suggest we have a separate call, David, and we can talk you through that. We do have an offering that we call the AI employee, which is kind of perfect for that sales tender bot. So it's a a fixed scope and a fixed outcome solution that we can get clients up and running within a couple of weeks. So let's definitely take that offline and have a chat. And then Julia, you said, can you please clarify which tools are available at which subscription levels with Microsoft? Yeah, great question. So, for example, Power Automate is included in the majority of Microsoft M365 licenses. So that's often one of those tools that clients are already paying for, but they actually don't even know about it. So that's something that we can explore for you. Of course, Copilot as a standard tool is included in a lot of M365 as well. Copilot Studio, where you build your own AI agents, that is often a small additional license that you'd need to put on top. But as part of that needs assessment, we can help you understand which solutions you already have and which ones you might need to pay some extra for based on the business need that you have.
I quite like that webinar because it's fairly short, it's sharp, gives some good examples, and hopefully it means that we can have conversations with you guys afterwards rather than being kind of death by PowerPoint, which I know these webinars can sometimes be. As always, feel free to reach out to myself or anyone within the Freestyle team if you have any questions. We'll be sending out a follow-up email, like I said. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.